like to welcome you today to the graduation of Nashville Fire Department's recruit class, Battalion 82. I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And also, I would like for you guys to help me in welcoming our MC for this morning, Neil Orn.
Thank you. Thank you. Your Honor, District Chief, it's a privilege to be here. I'm celebrating 25 years in this city next month, and I'll tell you what, the firefighters I've had the pleasure of meeting over the years are some of the nicest people I've met. And to all our distinguished guests and friends and families, thank you for being here. Today, we are going to welcome 35 people to the ranks of this wonderful institution, and I can't wait for them to take the oath and start serving this city, which is so grand. First, I'd like to start today off with the Pledge of Allegiance, if you don't mind. And as we do that, we will welcome Battalion 82. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. If you will please remain standing, I'd like to introduce Lee Dozier, Engineer Lee Dozier, to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'd like to introduce Firefighter Chaplain Simeon Williams for our invocation.
Can we bow our heads, please? God Almighty, we worship you, the eternal flame. Our holy fire purifies and cleans. It's cleansed through your wonderful, gentle kindness. Through you, we are given life and life abundantly. We come today to thank you for our beloved firefighters who are daily alert to the ferocious fires that seek to destroy both life and property. Their bravery provides a loving canopy to our lives and our communities. We ask that you cover these graduates, give them the wisdom and understanding to endure the dangers that lie ahead. As they daily stand guard, waiting for calls of distress, draw them close to you and nourish them with heavenly blessings. As they rush to emergencies, riding on engines of mercy, prepare them for the unknown challenges that they face. We thank you and love you, and this we pray in your holy name. Amen.
Please sit. It's my pleasure to introduce a good friend of mine and running partner. You all heard the story about running the marathon 20 years ago, and I ended up beating Chief Lively by 3 steps in the end. And he has made me pay for it ever since, including half a day of training with you guys, where I went home and I was in bed for 3 days and couldn't move, and that was half a day. What you guys have done over the past 6 months is impressive, and what you will do for this city from now on is more impressive, coming from all your different backgrounds, and we thank you for that. So without further ado, Chief Scott Lively.
Good morning. Let me first say thank you to everyone for coming to such a big day in the lives of the men and women of Battalion 82 as we welcome them into the family of the Nashville Fire Department. You know, we're reminded today that it's a culmination of a lot of hard work, dedication, and commitment in the face of challenging times. But it's not only a reflection of the type of people they are, but it's also a reflection of the commitment to you, the families here today that supported them all along this journey. You saw the late nights of study, witnessed firsthand both the fatigue mentally and physically. You know, I challenged them on day one. I said, put your lives on hold and commit to the process. You, the families, are the support system that made that work. And really, because you made that happen, this celebration is about you as well. I personally would like to thank Mayor Cooper, Director Chief Swan, and the entire senior staff of the Nashville Fire Department. Your unwavering commitment to keep this battalion moving forward demonstrates your commitment to public safety, to each recruit's families, and to the men and women making it happen on the streets as we speak. You know, as I watch the Honor Guard and the pipe and drum present the colors, I'm reminded that they represent a proud tradition of 160 years of the Nashville Fire Department and all those that really came before us. Today, we'll retire the colors of Battalion 82 as they become a part of that history. The guidon flag before you is unique and original. It's handmade, and there'll never be another one like it. The one chosen to carry that guidon through this journey was selected by the battalion leadership. He was chosen based on a genuine sense of honor he demonstrated early on. It's considered a true honor to represent an entire battalion out front. And let me just say this, Recruit Mays, you carried it with a sense of pride and integrity that it deserved. Every guidon throughout history wouldn't have been successful without the guidance and the leadership of those that set their path ahead of them. And the Nashville Fire Academy is no different. The cadre of the instruction at the Academy represents over 160 combined years of advanced firefighting, hazardous materials, technical rescue, and advanced emergency medical knowledge. I count the Academy staff as among the best at what they do, and they really make it possible for us to be here today. So let me proudly introduce and thank the entire Academy staff. Thank you guys. Y'all stand up. Thank y'all. I also see several current and retired firefighters in attendance here today, and I think it really speaks on the importance that they place in this day as we welcome our newest members into the fire service family. Let me just all say thank you to everyone that's here today for sharing this day with us. So in closing, to you, Battalion 82, congratulations on this milestone. You know, through hundreds of hours of training, you gave unselfishly to become a part of something much larger than yourself. And by doing so, you etched your name into the proud history of the Nashville Fire Department. Use this day not as the end of your training, but as a segue to the beginning of a journey that will see you become future leaders in this great department. So finally, let me just say and introduce someone that I call friend and who I think best exemplifies what our leader represents, the Director Chief of the Nashville Fire Department, Chief Will Swan.
This morning I was preparing my speech, and since this church is pretty close to my residence, I was doing some changes with the speech, and I asked a couple of parties would they bring me my speech, because at my house for some reason it did not print correctly because my ink was out. And I've probably got about 8 different speeches from people in my command staff. So that just goes to show you about the support that I have, not only external from the mayor's office, but also internal. And I just want to thank you guys for doing it. I think I got 8 copies, so I know I've got the right one. So let me say good morning, and I'm excited to welcome you here to Battalion 82's graduation. To all of our honored guests, thank you for being with us today. Members that's on the department, we have a lot of retirees here. Thank you to our recruits and to the recruit family. I am honored to share this life-changing moment. I'll say life-changing because now you will be known as a firefighter. I have carried this title for more than 25 years, and it's a title that I honor and cherish. This title is now bestowed to you. I also want to take a moment to thank our mayor for being here with us this morning, and to our members of Metro Council that are here as well, because again, it takes all of these components to make this department as great as it is. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Mayor. Him and I work closely together on numerous occasions, especially as of late, and then to our Metro Council for being very supportive to us in many areas that we need. So, Battalion 82, you are entering the Nashville Fire Department field of operations at a time unlike any one of us has ever seen before. Right now, you are needed more than ever, not just as firefighters, but as frontline medical specialists. COVID-19 took a grip on our community just as you started the training academy. You will forever be the recruit class that has navigated social distancing, face covering, quarantines, and a community shutdown in an unprecedented focus on the needs of our healthcare system and professionals. You are coming to our field of operations at a time when your community and your family and your fellow residents need you most. So thank you for answering the call to be a public servant. Do not forget the immense trust and power that you are being given at this moment. But remember, for much is given, much is expected. You will be required to execute the skills and the knowledge you have developed in the academy during the most challenging circumstances. For 8 of you, this is a continuing of your career with us at the NFD. I am happy to welcome you to the fire suppression side of this great department. You are now going to be tasked with continuing to learn and develop with this department. Remember, we are an all-hazardous department. So this is the next step that many of you will take, but you have to continue to expand your skills. And that goes for all of you, from hazardous materials to swift water to high angle and beyond. Firefighter is a title which is umbrellaed for a lot of skill sets that is needed to protect our community. So I challenge you to keep the passion and the excitement for this career as you go into the companies to start your work alongside of your colleagues. In our world, things not always go right, and there's going to be some hard days and some sad times. Many things that you will do and see will totally rock your core. But it will not be because of lack of effort. You will be and do some amazing things and touch many people's lives. Stay determined, and above all, have the care for your fellow man. You are a diverse group of people by age and gender, ethnicity, but here we are all one family, and we're all united for one common goal: Now more than ever in our country, and definitely our community, remember that we are stronger as one. So God bless you, and God bless the Nashville Fire Department. So if you would, please join me in welcoming our mayor, the Honorable John Cooper.
Thank you so much, Chief. It's been a privilege over the last months to see him every day. And I'm going to have to leave in a moment, but it's so important, I think, that I'm here. I have some remarks for our great class of '82, but really I am here for everybody upstairs to thank you for your supporting these members of our great class. It is the supportship that we all need that's important. They've needed it in the past, they'll need it in the future, and we are here to support bravery. And you are doing it. And thank you. It's unrecognized sometimes, but I want to call that out. Your supportship for bravery is what's going to make a great city. And we are a great city. We've had an incredible challenge in the last 6 months, unthinkable what we have gone through, but healthcare leadership here in Nashville, Tennessee, and in Memphis has really saved the state of Tennessee. If we had not been on it here, if our disease path had stayed uninterrupted or not gone down as it has, the state of Tennessee would be on like the all-time radioactive hot list. You would never get tourists and travelers and family members to want to come to Nashville, Tennessee with all that bad publicity and perceived danger and perceived risk. But we did it. We have done it, and now we're going to have the disease with us for months ahead, but we know how to live with it. We know the protocols, if we follow them, to keep the disease managed. The goal for the city ahead and in your service for the short term, because it's not just fires that we have to fight, it is saving all public health and saving Nashville, is for us to control the disease and not have the disease control us. And we can do it with resolve. But thank you for the kind introduction, Chief Swan. And I want to thank Neil, our MC for today's ceremony, and Deputy Director Tim Henderson, and Scott Lively, and Council Member Tanya Hancock, who is there in the front line every day. I'm grateful to her son for coming out. And I think Council Member Druffel may be here somewhere, and I want to recognize him also. But it's an honor to be here. It is the biggest honor of a mayor to be here and to thank you. It is the biggest honor to administer an oath, which I'm going to ask the chief to present to you as the recruits of '82. I mean, for me, this is a privilege, but for you, it is much more. It is a solemn oath. And the honor, the joy, the sacrifice, and the duty of the oath and the badge, that badge carries, it's a few ounces of weight, but it is much more than that. That honor belongs to you and you alone, and you have owned it. You have earned it every day. Now today, you join the ranks of our city's first responders, a group whose service to our residents that we cherish because we see these heroic actions in response, and we've seen disasters up close recently, and we know, both natural and man-made, how important you are for us being a great city. And that tradition goes all the way back. You're part of a line of greatness. In December of 1812, 5 years after Nashville Fire Department started as a volunteer organization, our city was bustling, we had a lot of activity, but we were the staging ground for the Natchez expedition, filled with Nashville firefighters, where Andrew Jackson would become known as Old Hickory, and Tennessee would become known as the volunteer state, based in part on the volunteer firefighters in Nashville, Tennessee, who made that possible. Now, that early Nashville was also the scene of Nashville's first major fire, one that destroyed the entire business center of the city. when every structure on 2nd Street, 2nd Avenue, from the square down to the St. Charles Hotel was burned down. Now, to stop the fire from spreading, firefighters used, it was very innovative, I'm sure at that time, explosives to create gaps between buildings. Now, I've already told Chief Swan I don't really want to hear about requisitioning dynamite on our city from the finance department, not that we have any money anyway. And then a few years later, the city purchased its first firefighting engine. Now, we've evolved quite a bit. That one was a 3-foot tall by 8-foot long apparatus that required 8 people. You all are getting it done with 3 people. That one required 8 people. And it was pulled by a separate 2-man team, and it could carry a stream of water 60 feet. That was the state of the technology. It was called the Cheatham. And it would be the first innovative pieces of equipment used in this fire department in the South. And we have a long, rich history of deploying technology to save lives and to make your work easier. And we need to have a city that can fund equipment appropriately for you. Hard to do, but we can do it. Now, a century ago, a child was playing with a ball of yarn on the corner of First and Oldham. That was in East Nashville, and it accidentally ignited Nashville's Great Fire of 1916. This fire changed the development pattern of Nashville completely. By the time the fire was extinguished, there were more than 600 homes, 35 blocks of old East Nashville were destroyed, and more than 3,000 Nashvillians were displaced by this tragedy, which was epic. And again, all of West Nashville's development came because of East Nashville was burned, which was really the dominant part of Nashville for Nashville's first century. Now, Nashville's Great Fire, like other historic American fires, including those in Chicago and Atlanta, asks the question, if it had not been for our firefighters and the citizens who banded together in those famous bucket brigades, how much more would we have lost? But they worked together in that era, and they handled that crisis the same way that you worked with citizens in our community to handle the crisis of the tornado last March. Now, that was an EF3 tornado. That was 8 football fields wide. It had winds of 165 miles an hour, and that was a new crisis. But firefighters across the city were called upon to aid our residents and search for victims. And it was our home, and our neighborhood was leveled by this storm, but you responded and got us through that. Now, the Nashville that emerged from that wreckage is one on a road of recovery. If you look around, we are not healed from the tornado yet, for sure. But let's rally again to the phrase that we held on to after the 2010 flood. I believe in Nashville. I believe in Nashville, by the way, is a saying of saying, I believe in each other. I know that honor and bravery will be served and rewarded and supported. That's a key word, and back to everybody upstairs, and supported. Let us all resolve to support bravery. Now, I believe in Nashville, those words demonstrate the solidarity and the spirit that we have shown in the past in times of trouble. But we depend on our firefighters and all of our first responders to keep us safe through this additional crisis, the COVID-19 crisis, probably the greatest health crisis anybody has seen at least in 100 years. And we all know that when trouble strikes, you represent the best in us, and we will call on you. You are the first to confront the challenge, the standard bearers of courage, of determination. You confront the fear and uncertainty in the course of your duties and responsibilities. But thankfully, you've got your training, and you've got each other. The strength of friendships that you've built with one another will see you through, and you will see the city through. And thank you for being loyal to your city and to your calling and to each other. Now, as far as these character traits go, maybe they're increasingly rare, but without them, without your hands and hearts, being prepared to walk the path of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, our great city would often be reduced to little more than a landscape. But by carrying the title of Nashville Firefighters on your chest, you will carry this 214-year history. I date it all the way back to you all helping create the volunteer state. And the solemn charge of your city's protection, each building preserved, each life saved. Saves the very soul of the city. So thank you, firefighters. I know you will carry the title with pride and distinction and honor, and may that badge always rest over your heart to show how much we count on you and your cherishing it as an emblem of connection with the city. Yours is a noble and difficult profession, one that requires sacrifice, and sacrifices on the part of your loved ones. And for that, you have the thanks of a grateful city and a grateful mayor. And I want to congratulate you, all the recruits of Battalion 82, on the graduation and wish you a safe and fulfilling career. I want you to have a career here in what will be the greatest city in America in the 21st century. If we have each other's back, and the city has your back, and we give you what you need to accomplish what we need you to do going forward. Remember that line. At any moment, there's a risk that the city just becomes a landscape. And you are saving us from that. You are called on a daily basis to show bravery. Thank you for that. And we are all here to support you. And your support upstairs for these brave folks down here, thank you. And for the chiefs and the training and everything that we've tried to do to prepare you, I suspect nothing will ever completely prepare you for the challenges of being in the field. I am grateful to the professional expertise to get that done. And then, thank you. Stay with us. Have your career here. We as a city will have your back. We will do what we have to do to support you, as we should. Thank you all very much. And Chief, thank you for letting me do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At the Nashville Fire Academy, we teach a sense of meticulous detail in what it means to be a part of a team. Recruit training is the epitome of the team concept. It's how the men and women on the streets every day respond, and it's how we train day in and day out. But today, if you'll allow us, the Academy staff, to point out a few of those that really set themselves apart. So when you hear your name, please come forward. The Fitness Award signifies not only the most athletic or the fastest, but the one who, combined with the physical nature of the hands-on training, that has elevated themselves overall to the level that they're at today. Our daily PT program is very job specific. It's very challenging. The Fitness Award for Battalion 82 goes to Tracy Mays. Class Valedictorian represents a combined score for not only an intense and fast-paced emergency medical course that condenses a college semester into a matter of weeks, but also a level of Firefighter 2 training, technical rescue, hazmat operations certification, and a multitude of other things. The class valedictorian for Battalion 82 with a combined GPA of 85.48, John Perry. Let me just say this, there was 0.3 of a point separating 1 from 2, so it was very close. And finally, esprit de corps. Esprit de corps, which literally means the spirit of the body. It encompasses the heart and the pulse of the group and really represents the camaraderie of each battalion. This person literally represents the spirit of the battalion. And let me just say this as a decorated Marine, and it's an honor to deliver this award to him. I'm proud to say that the Esprit de Corps for Battalion 82, Luke Conrad. Now, what's the moment you've been waiting for? I'll ask Neil to come back and get this party rolling.
Before we go any further, I just wanted you to know I've been doing this for 25 years, as I mentioned before, and I've been messing up people's names for 25 years. So any mispronunciation off the bat, I apologize. It's me. As I call your name, if you would come up to the stage, please, one at a time. We'll start with Brian Crawford. Daniel Bailey. Corey Blankenship. Ryan Colgan. Militia Cook. I think you have friends here. LaQuinn Davis. John Dowland. Mario Gonzalez. Aaron Haddix. Stephen Hamilton. Aaron Johnson. Andrea Mason. Matthew McCann. John Perry. Joshua Porter. Chad Sanders. Nathan Stanley. Matthew Williams. Caleb Baker. Mark Chasteen. Luke Conrad. Rodney Kuta. Clinton Doss. Robert Freeman. Joshua Grisham. Keith Hamilton. Jermaine Hines. Michael Clausen. Tracy Mays. Jalen McCutcheon. Chris Bacracki. Ryan Rowland. Grayson Smith. Edric Waller. Brett Yeager. Battalion 82, please stand. I'd like to invite District Chief Swan to the stand to administer the oath.
This is what you've been waiting for. Let's take it serious and understand the significance of it. So if you would, please raise your right hand. State your name with this. I state your name. Do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of Tennessee and support the Constitution and the laws thereof, and that I will, to my best skill and judgment, diligently and faithful, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office assigned in the fire department and the Nashville, Davidson County, according to the Constitution of the state. Battalion 82, you are now inducted in the family of the Nashville Fire Department. Congratulations.
This has been a great honor, and I wish you well, and thank you for doing what you do. Without further ado, Chaplain Simeon Williams with our benediction.
Right. May we remember to always be thankful to those who have helped get us to where we are. For every ending, there is a beginning. For every memory, there is a dream ahead. And as we conclude this graduation ceremony, may we forever be in awe of all that had to happen in our lives to be here. May we walk away from this gathering inspired. May we walk away with the will and courage to move beyond ourselves and leave our noble mark on our beloved community, our city, our nation, and all of the earth. Peace be unto you all. Amen.
This concludes our ceremony today. Thanks again for everyone for being here, and congratulations one final time. Now get to work.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.